Hi, everybody. I'm just getting everybody logged in. I know this is a weird meeting. I'm sorry. Letting people in. Bear with me. We changed it up a bit. So I apologize. Just trying to get everybody in here. As you can see, I had my hair done today. Is why. That's the why, you guys. Just letting everybody get logged in. Sorry, sorry, sorry. And you guys are gonna kill me. I don't have my other tripod. Arlene's gonna kick me because she always makes sure everybody makes sure I have my stuff. And today I don't. I just don't. I drove back here. I got issues. Okay. You know how you guys know how when something happens, it happens real good. Okay, well, this is what happened to me. Let me tell you about how my morning went today. Okay. And my face is red, so you know it's going to be a good story. Okay, so you guys get ready for this. I'm not working. It's Wednesday today, so I am taking the day off. I have an appointment to get my hair done. It's been a while. Didn't it come out cute? Didn't it look cute? Okay, sorry. Squirrel, squirrel, sorry. Okay, so I go to get my hair done, and I always try to pay my hair lady with cash. So I'm like, let me stop at the ATM. Man, I don't know what's going on with Bank of America, but there was a line of cars, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I pulled in, walked over to go use a walk up ATM. When I get back to my car, my remote doesn't work. You know, the beep beep for your car and the door, nothing, nada, nothing. And that's when I remember, I think my battery connections are loose. But now my car is locked. I can't unlock it. How am I going to get my car? What am I going to do? I know, those little key fobs have a key in it, but there's no key to turn for the outside. You can't get into the car. Okay. It's garbage. So I'm standing there looking around, and there's this lovely veteran sitting in the car next to me, and he looks up and smiles, and I wave at him. And then I hip check my fender, trying to knock that battery connection back in place. Okay. So wham, wham, wham. I'm hip checking my own fender. I walk over and pull the door handle, and the door opens. And I was like, yes, I got my car started by basically smacking my car around and reminding her who her boss was. I just thought it was funny. So I got my hair done, flew back to my house so I could do this webinar, and then I'm going to AutoZone. I promise I will get it fixed because I'm the person that if something's going to happen to, it happens at the most inconvenient time, and I would not want to be running from an angry resident and have that happen where I can't even get into my vehicle or can't get out of the situation. So I thought you guys would all catch a laugh about my hiccups of the morning. How's everybody doing? You guys ready to bombard me with stuff? I'm ready. I've been sitting in a salon for the last 3 hours thinking to myself, what are we going to talk about today? What could we talk about today? Legislation is looming over us. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like what's coming at us. AB 1482 is trying to come at us again, you guys. They're trying to cap our max rent increases at 5% instead of 10, and they're trying to include all single family residences. So with that said, it's been a very, and I know we'll beat it. We'll beat it because Dan is so uber confident that we're going to beat it, and we've been beating this stuff down. But the fact that they now want to include single family residences, it just makes the gears in my little blonde brain go. Now I know why they made marijuana legal and magic mushrooms legal. It's so lawmakers could get blitzed out of their minds and then come up with ludicrous new rules. Okay, that's my theory. I know it's not true, but hey. All right, I'm done venting. Somebody else get on here and ask me a question. Vent to me. Let's talk about it. Allie, are you laughing at me?
Yes, I am. That was a good one.
Wait till you guys see this new video I'm making. I think it's really cute. It's something like this. It says, hi, welcome to the property management games. My name's Widget and I'm your host. And I thought it was really cute. It says, we'll be challenged by our municipalities, fair housing, using good ethics and best business practices. Those of us that win the games will get to keep the shirts on our backs, and those of us that lose at the games will have to trade in our shirts for orange jumpsuits. So, with that being said, may the odds forever be in your favor and let the games begin. I thought it was really cute, you know? I tried. I try to make funny, cute content. Throw me to the wolves and I'll return leading the pack. Yay, men.
Patti, I have a question in regard to what I texted you about yesterday. So
Throw it at me.
San Bernardino, SFR, my tenant texted asking for an updated rental agreement. And she gave me a little bit more information on it today. I guess she has to turn it in to her worker in order to keep her medical. I don't know if it's like medical insurance or something like that.
It sounds like it's Medi-Cal.
Yes. So I know I'm pulling up your text that you sent me yesterday, addendum for a lease extension. Now she's not on a lease. It's rental agreement, month-to-month rental agreement. So would I do an addendum for a rental agreement?
Well, let me ask you this. She's asking for a new rental agreement?
She's asking for, and I'll tell you exactly what she said. I was going to ask you for an updated rental agreement just because my worker said the last one is outdated. It's still the same people, my husband, my mom, and my children, and I just need to have this year's date. Please, this year's date, please.
Okay. So she's basically looking for another month-to-month contract with a more current date on it. Let me explain what, who, where, what, why, and when. Okay. You and I both know that that contract is completely valid, correct?
Yes.
It is completely valid. Why? Because she still lives there and she's still paying the rent on that contract, right?
Correct.
So for all legal purposes, that contract is completely valid. It's still in play. Nobody's canceled it. Why they want something more current with this year on it is because the federal government is trying to zone in on the fraud. Does that make sense to you? So somebody could be trying to claim benefits with a contract that's 10 years old. Now, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, but wouldn't it be on her part to say, well, I've been there 5 years, so of course it's old, or 6 years?
Honey, it's the way the federal government is now trying to eliminate fraud by making those people produce new documents.
Okay.
Now, I hope that helps put it on the nose and put it in perspective for you as to the why behind it. Don't overthink it. Just give her a new month-to-month contract for the month of April.
But like with all the a new contract with all the addendums, because I don't want to lose my security deposit because I have 2 months for the security deposit.
So no, just give her an addenda. Wait, hold on. I'm using the wrong word. Addenda is multiple. Addendum is one. So you want a blank addendum? And the addendum reads this way. This is to extend the tenancy for a new term of 1 month starting May 1st of 2025 to May 31st of 2025. Okay. At the rent amount of blank. Okay. All other terms are to stay in full effect.
All other terms to stay in effect. Okay. And then
full effect. It's a legal terminology. You have to use it verbatim.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tell you guys something and teach you guys something. I don't know if you guys have been using ChatGPT.
Yes.
Most of corporate America is using ChatGPT. It helps us fluff what we want to say very quickly. When you use specific words in what you're doing, like an itemized disposition of security deposit, and then you run that through ChatGPT and go, oh, they fluffed it up. They may read those legal terms because they twist them around and put them in ass backwards, and then they don't make sense anymore. Okay? And it's because you just got to watch your legal terminology when you're using those chat generators. It doesn't know it's legal terminology and it fluffs it too. Like I think I used something where we were specifically saying time is of the essence, okay? And Chat GPT rewrote it to the essence of time is most important. No, I don't want it to say that. I need it to say time is of the essence because that's a legal term. It's a real estate term. We all know what that means. It means you got to do this now. Okay. But ChatGPT rewrote that, and I gave a great example of how um, the essence of time is the most importance, but that's not the right legal terminology. So be careful when you're using ChatGPT. Please reread it not once, but twice. Okay? Because you're going to read, oh, they fluffed this up, and oh man, they wrote that so well. Why did I even go to college? What you're not catching is those terminology that you need written that way. You need to go back and refix that. Okay? So please look at those twice. Pretty, please.
Patty, so, but you said to extend the tenancy of new term on a month to month starting, is that what?
Yeah.
Goes?
And
Okay.
start it from May 1st to May 30th. So
But
you basically gave them a 1-month term.
do I have to say that it will continue like after May at a 1-month term, like starting May and then continue?
Sweetheart, it does that anyway. Look at me. Or
Okay.
let me say it this way. For all of you guys that are on a 1-year contract or a month to month, that's how a month to month works. It starts with a term in the beginning and automatically carries over as long as neither party cancel and everybody's following the rules and paying the rent, right? So let me give you an example, okay? If you're on a month to month tenancy and you tell the tenant, we're going to end at the end of the term, and they pay the rent and you collect the rent, you just extended the tenancy, right? Yeah. So as soon as they pay another month, it automatically rolls to a month to month. So it's up to you how you want to extend it or for how much time, but that's how I would do it, is an addendum that says all other terms are to remain in full effect. That way you do not have to refund the double security deposit.
Okay. And then the title, you just put addendum and that's it? Or like,
No. It is a legal document called an addendum.
yeah. So at the title, like I'm doing a Word doc. So then for the title, it would be addendum, right?
I have to look at a blank addendum to see what the legal terminology is in there. I understand what you're asking me, but I can't answer that off the top of my head. I can
Okay.
see in my head California Apartment Association's blank addendum form. It says addendum, and then I'm pretty sure there's a sentence in there.
Okay.
And then it goes blank. Does that make
Okay.
sense? So it may say something like this is to act as a page of the actual lease.
Uh-huh.
It could say something like that, but if it does, I need yours to match. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay. So that's why I'm telling you, I can see it in my head. I know it says something there, but I need yours to match whatever that says. That way it's if it matches what that says as addenda and you fill it out properly and sign and date it accordingly, you're creating your own legal document.
Okay.
Addendum is a legal document. Okay.
Okay. Can I send it to you just once I have it typed out? Can I, because I'm not a part of California.
I understand. I'm always more than happy to be a second set of eyes for
Okay.
anybody.
I'm trying to look it
Everybody
up,
listen to
Patty.
that. It's real easy once you fill out your notice to take a picture of it and text it to me and say, hey, Patty, what do you think? I am really good at looking at it going, you forgot a phone number. You need to put this. You need to say this. You need to have dates, times, and witnesses. So I'm a great second set of eyes for all of you. Feel free to do that. And yes, Julia, go ahead. You're more than welcome.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Patty.
I see Geraldo saying something, and I know Arlene's gonna pipe. I hear her. What you got, baby?
So it says addendum from CAA. This is an addendum and is part of the rent/lease agreement between.
See,
And
I
then
knew it said something there. You gotta love my photographic memory. I knew it said something there. I just couldn't make out the words. I'm sorry. But I had an idea that it was part of the written rental contract, so I was close. I was in the neighborhood.
Thank you, Arlene.
Teamwork. That's what we do here. And I love it. That's all I want is us to be a great big old team. Okay, Val, I have a tenant that says they will be out on the 15th in Kern County. They did not pay April rent, assuming I will take it for the deposit. Looks like they're not moving their things out and have many cars in the yard. I don't want to start a war since they are angry and moving out since I increased their rent starting April 1st. So they said they would be out. Sadly, I trusted them, but I may have been fooled again. So if I serve a 3 days, should it only be for 15 days? Did you have to waive the last month's rent, Val, or no? Are you exempt from the Tenant Protection Act, or are you subject to it? It's a duplex. You're subject to the Tenant Protection Act. You have to waive the last month's rent as a relocation fee. So if they didn't pay April, when did you give them notice? Or were they supposed to be out on the 15th? Okay, so if you gave them a 60-day to get out, you had to waive last month's rent, and I'm just talking out loud. If they had to be out by April the 15th, just hear me, okay? Then March the 15th, from the 15th of March to April 15th, they didn't owe the rent, but they do owe the rent from the 1st of March to the 14th of March. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Thank you, Arlene. God, I love her. She's now texting it to me so I can see it with my own eyeballs, so I will remember the words verbatim. I love it. So Val, my questions become, okay, this helps me, Val. Thank you. They told you they were going to move out. You didn't give them notice. Serve a 3-day pay rent or quit. You don't have to waive last month's rent. Okay? Serve them a 3-day. They owe you money, baby. You don't have to waive. And thank you for reminding me, because you guys, I don't remember everything, but I try. I really do try. What is the phone number again? 760-953. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do this instead.
Why it says,
760.
it says, please wait. I put already my credit card.
Rachel, we can hear you. Press mute, please. Don't list your credit card, because we can all hear you. Hang on, let me help you. Hang on. Rachel, I got you covered, girly. Mute. Sorry, I didn't want her to start reading off her credit card and everybody in the room to hear it. So I muted you, Rachel. If you want to be unmuted, tell me. That was me trying to protect you. Teamwork. Team, here we go. What else do we got? Val, did I answer? Oh, I put that to Val and I wanted to send it to everybody. I'm sorry. Everyone. I'm trying to give you my phone number. My bad. Hang on. I'm not real good at talking, texting, typing all at the same time. There, now everybody has my phone number, but I didn't say it out loud. There we go. Okay. I hope that helps. Let me go to the next question. Bedbug addendum. Addendum to rental agreement for smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. Yes. Okay, Geraldo, we're talking about addendum, but this is an addendum to extend the lease, is what she was speaking out about. Val, don't change. Hold on. They told you they would be out on the 15th of the month, correct? I want you to serve them a 3-day from the 1st to the 15th, because on the 16th of the month, they're not supposed to be there. I hope that makes sense. You can start eviction based on the fact that they didn't vacate, and you're going to use their notice to vacate against them. Did they give you a written notice in writing with pen and ink, with a move out date, an address? Oh, shit. So you legally don't have a move out. Did they email you, or did they just verbal? It's nothing. Serve them a 3-day for the whole month. And if they say, we were going to be out on the 15th. Oh, I didn't get your rent till the 15th. And I don't have a notice in writing. Serve them a 3-day on the whole month. Okay? And I'm sorry, you guys, sometimes I don't always take the first answer I give you. As I get more information, I'll give you the correct answer. I hope that makes sense. I mean, look at it this way. They said they were going to move out, but she doesn't have anything in writing, so I can't use that against them if they don't vacate. So now I need to have something in place so I can force their hand. So the thing that makes the most sense is a 3-day pay rent or quit. If they say then we're moving out on the 15th, we don't owe the whole month of rent, then we need in writing from you that you're vacating on the 15th of the month. And if they say, oh, we're going to extend that to the 20th, that's fine. Can I have that in writing that you plan on vacating? Okay. That's
Patty,
what,
wouldn't they be responsible for the entire month?
well, if she wants them out and doesn't want to have to evict them, yes, they would be responsible for the entire amount. Technically, they didn't give her written notice, so when they vacate, she could charge them 30 days of rent for not giving them written notice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if they're gonna go, here's how I look at it. She doesn't have to pay for an eviction. The trash took itself out, so she's saving money. So yes, you are wholeheartedly correct. But look at it from a perception of negotiation, okay? If they're going to go, I'm not going to hold their foot to the fire for 15 days rent. Let them go. Once they leave, then I'm going to hang them for 30 days for not giving me a notice. Okay? So there's different ways you can handle it, but when you're trying to get them out the door, that's not when you want to poke them in the eye. Wait for them to get out and then poke them in the eye. We don't want to spend money to have to evict anybody. The system's broken. It's horribly convoluted and very one-sided, and it needs to be our very last attempt to gain possession, not our first course of action. But yes, wholeheartedly, I can see Val's rental agreement in my head, and I know that they would owe her for 30 days of rent because it says they must give her a 30-day notice in writing. Absolutely correct, Julia. Thank you. People are saying there will be a recession. How should I prepare for another eviction moratorium? Geraldo, pay attention. A recession isn't going to give you an eviction moratorium, okay? Pay attention. We didn't have an eviction moratorium when the real estate market and the economy crashed in 2006, 2007, 2008. We didn't have any laws that you can't evict, okay? The reality is the entire country needs to be put on reset. You and I can't afford these outrageous, ridiculous prices, and our dollars aren't going up. Our income isn't coming in fast enough. It's going out faster than it's coming in. And our income is not going up. Only our outcome is going up. Okay? So we've seen the writing on the wall for this for quite some time. The ghost in my house just opened the front door. Sorry, squirrel. The dog didn't react. The cat looked at it funny, but yeah, it's just mom. It's okay. Sorry, you guys. Squirrel, lost my train of thought. Hold on, I'll get it back. Okay, somebody help me.
We're talking about more money going out than coming in.
We have more money going out than coming in. I'll give you guys an example. Remember during COVID, right before COVID happened, okay? Remember the price of wood went up? All of a sudden, instead of $2 or $3 for a 2x4, they went up to almost $20. You guys remember that? Remember sheets of plywood went up to almost $80? Supply and demand, right? Everybody was home, right? Everybody had lots of time on their hands, lots of extra COVID money. So they were doing home improvement projects and things of that nature. And the prices of building materials started going up, and then everything started going with it. Remember? And everything's gone up. Everything. Groceries, gasoline, rents, everything. Everything but our paychecks. We can't keep going this way. We're financing everything. Your tenants are financing half of their monthly expenses or a portion of their monthly expenses right now. Want me to say that again? Think about it. Their paychecks aren't going up either, but their rent is, their gas is, their groceries are, clothing, all that kind of stuff is still going up. it has to reset somewhere. We all saw it happen in 2006, 2007, 2008. The writing is on the wall. We're seeing that come again. And we have no choice but to have that big reset again. The amount of foreclosures that we're starting to see hitting the market, it's telling us something. I mean, the agents can tell you. My daughter is desperately trying to call me for some reason, is why I keep blacking out, you guys. I'm sorry. Let's send her a quick message so she'll stop. Webinar, go. Okay, now she should stop. Sorry, I apologize. Doing a webinar at 2:00 messes up everybody. I know, I apologize, but I had to. My hair looks so good. All I'm saying is we're going to see a reset come. I know it's coming, and it would be that I would be concerned with, not an eviction moratorium. Okay. Do you remember in 2006, 2007, where rents drop, everything drop, everybody struggled for a little while, and then everything kind of reset, rents went down again, we reset. We're facing that. That's what you're looking at. So if there's one thing I could tell you to protect yourself is make sure you have liquid assets. Make sure you have tangible money, okay? If you own a property, and pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, no joke. If you own a property in LA County, I strongly suggest that in the next 30 to 60 days, you go buy 5 to 10 sheets of plywood and 10 to 20 2x4s. And you're like, Patti, what am I going to do with those? Store them up in the rafters of your garage. It's flat up there. You can store them easy. The reason I'm telling you that is with all the rebuilding that we're going to be having in LA County because of the fires, we're more than likely going to see a scarcity of building materials. The reason I am telling you to get 2x4s and sheets of plywood is because in the event of an earthquake, you're going to need to board up your rental house. Kind of hard to board up a property or board up a broken window if you can't get building supplies. I'm not saying we're going to need them, an earthquake's coming, okay? But in my blonde brain, remember, I have a lot of forward thinking. And I forward thinking that we're going to have a problem with building materials in the next 3 to 5 years, okay? With that being said, it isn't going to hurt any of us to have a small plethora of plywood and 2x4s in the event that we need to board up a window, board up a door, or something of those lines. Besides, if it keeps going at the rate it is, you guys are going to be able to sell those plywood and those 2x4s for twice as much as you paid for them. I'm just saying, it's not a bad thing to store. I'm not saying to go buy a whole pallet of it. There's no need for that. But think about it this way. What's going to happen in 5 years if all of a sudden building materials are scarce because of all this rebuilding going on and we have an earthquake and need to board up windows? It makes sense to have these types of materials on hand so you can help your own property. I will also tell you that First Century Bank, Sev, and I can give his number out, will do something called a Save My Asset loan, okay? And a lot of times it's just a HELOC. And I don't know if you guys know how they work, but you can get a home equity line of credit and it sits there, okay? It just sits there until you use it. Okay? So it's a loan that sits there in case you need it. It's not a bad idea to have something like that in place so that in the event that there is a crisis or the economy crashes and the rents come down and the tenant needs to be evicted and you have to go through that legal process, you have the capability of doing it. That's all. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Hang on, because I see important messages coming from people. I don't think that we're going to see another eviction moratorium due to the economy crashing, but I also can't get inside lawmakers' heads because I don't know what they're thinking. Val, this family speaks Spanish too, they told my assistant. Okay, Val, if you've only given them documents in English, you only have to give them to them in English. Once you give them a legal document in Spanish, you have to change everything. And quite frankly, 3-day notices to pay rent or quit don't get put in Spanish. Okay? So keep it in English, even though they speak Spanish, translating falls on them. Right. Val says if you're going to buy 2x4s and you're going to buy sheets of plywood, also buy screws. And she has a good point. She has a great point. Forward thinking on her part. I was thinking about the big money. She's thinking about all the details. So very important that we all talk about that. I thought I saw Chris say something. Let me see. I don't even know if he's in here. Maybe it was just my blonde brain. It could have been. Who knows? Okay.
Patti, I have
Yeah.
2 questions.
I have 2 answers.
So I have a vacancy, but it has an application. And I received 2 inquiries from Avail and 1 from Zillow. And the message reads, "Hi, does your property accept third-party vouchers? Also, I'm looking for 2 units and both parties are undocumented." And it says the girl's name and it says medical caseworker 2, County of Los Angeles Department Mental Health Community Reintegration Program. So,
Okay, wait. Allie, I love you for sharing this. Okay.
okay.
I want you to read the name of the program again. Shut up, Val. Shut up, Val. Shut up, Val. We're all learning together. We're all learning together, but this is why I love our group of people. Okay? Will you please read that again?
The whole thing? Okay.
Well, I can tell you, we only accept third-party vouchers from federally funded programs for move-in funds.
Okay. Okay. Well, that I had in the back of my head in case we didn't, I was gonna.
Sweetheart, the county's not federally funded.
Yes, exactly. So, but I
Federal
had that
funding.
response. I had that
Okay.
response ready, but I just stick
Okay,
to, we have it
but
paused.
for all intents purposes and everybody, I need you to pay attention to what she's talking about. She got a letter in the mail or
No,
an email
an
or an
email.
email from someone that wants to help her fill her vacant unit. Okay, read it again.
Does your property accept third-party vouchers? ? Also, I'm looking for 2 units and both parties are undocumented. Thank you. And then it has her name and it says medical caseworker 2, County of Los Angeles Department Mental Health Community Reintegration Program on Vermont Avenue.
Reintegration from what?
And what does undocumented mean? What does she mean by that?
It means they're not American citizens.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Remember on
that's a
our
biggie.
ID, remember it says federal hold or you got the bear with the star on the butt on your
Yeah.
driver's license?
Yeah, the
Bear
real ID.
star on butt means American. Federal limits may apply means non-American. Got it? Everybody on the driver's license. And just so you know, I didn't sign up for the real ID because I didn't know why they wanted us to do that. So right now it looks like I'm not an American, but I do have a passport.
So
Reintegration from what?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Val had a good point. Okay. Val said
Jailbird.
jailbird. Okay. Reintegration from homelessness. Okay. This is where we go back, people. Everybody pay attention. Regeneration from a life of crime. See, everybody's getting it. But that's the part I need you guys to pay attention to. When you're reading their job title, grab a hold of that one thing and go, reintegration from what? Reintroducing. Is it from homelessness? Is it from jail? Is it from, who knows? Who knows? Let's just keep going down the line, though. They're also not American citizens. Are you going to be able to garnish their wages?
Nope.
Why? They don't work in this country.
Yeah, exactly. They're not allowed to.
Here it comes, ex-gang member. Here comes all of it, prostitution. But remember, at the end of the day, they're not American citizens. They're immigrants.
Right, right. No, if I hadn't had an application in already, I would have responded, sorry, we only accept, funds from federally funded programs.
For move-in funds, we only accept third-party programs that are federally funded.
Federally
That's,
funded.
yeah. It's
Right.
got to be federally funded third party, and it's got to be move-in funds only, because everybody needs to know that if your tenant's already living in a house and a third party wants to pay the rent, you have to allow it as long as they sign saying that that doesn't create a tenancy. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Anybody,
So if it
if
was
they're
from their
already in
move-in
there,
funds, then yes.
if they're already in there, you have to allow it.
But what if like they're not? So
If
if
they're
they're not,
moving in, that's where
no.
you get to,
Oh, I got it.
that's where you get to play the game.
Oh, got it.
If they're already in there, you have no control.
Got it. Okay. So
That's why it says for move-in funds.
for move-in funds. Yes. Okay.
Bingo.
Now I get it. Okay. So the second email that came
Because
through
look at
Zillow-
it this way. Wait, hold on. Let's play out the why really quick, and then we'll
Okay.
talk more about it.
Sure.
What if I'm in the hospital and I rent your house and I'm sending my son to go pay my rent? You gonna take my check from him?
No.
No.
By law, you have to.
By law, you have to. Yeah.
If he's paying my rent so I don't get evicted, and I'm already in the property, you have to accept a payment from a third party as long as they sign stating that by accepting this payment, you're not creating a tenancy with my son.
Correct.
Okay? So everybody needs to know that.
Right.
Any third party can pay your tenant's rent as long as they sign saying they're not creating a tenancy with you. Okay?
Right.
But at inception, when they're moving in, that's the only place you have control to say, nope, only federally funded programs, which would be VASH and Section 8.
Okay.
Would that be, is there like an addendum for that, or how do they sign? Do we give it to them once they're at the time they're paying the rent, or when they're
At the time you're accepting the funds, they are signing saying, by making this payment, I am not creating a tenancy for the property located at blank. I am only paying the rent for the resident at that property. Sign and date.
Patty, what if you have a guarantor at the start? So you shouldn't take.
Different set of facts. Look at it this way. The guarantor is guaranteeing the payment. So that's different set of facts. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about those third party people that are, I'm just going to say it. So don't hold my foot to the fire. Okay. What I'm talking about is brilliant corners. And I'll talk about them specifically because I have several instances and great examples I can use, because we had quite a few management companies contact us at the law firm when I was doing evictions regarding residents that were on the Brilliant Corners program. So for the most part, Brilliant Corners helps people that are homeless not be homeless anymore. And I'm all for that. Okay. I actually have designed a system that would eliminate the homeless problem in our state, and it makes sense. Okay. I've designed and developed a system that actually works and makes sense. Okay. For the homelessness. But the reality is Brilliant Corners takes them, they use their funding to help get them established in a property. They may guarantee the rent for the first year or something along those lines. But the problem is a lot of the people that they're trying to place in housing don't have the mental capacity to live on their own. Let me give you an example. One day, a property manager called me and said, Patti, I have a gentleman that I need to evict out of a unit. I said, okay, why do you need to evict him? He said, well, at 2:00 in the morning last night, and we have this all on video, he decided to go knock door to door to neighboring residents. We're in a 230 unit apartment complex, and he knocked on 17 people's doors at 3 a.m. with a butcher's knife in his hand. Law enforcement was called. He was arrested, and he will be released, but we'd like to evict him. That's what I mean about the mental capacity. Okay. Also, with Brilliant Corners, they deal a lot with hoarding. It's mostly recyclables. Hope this is all making sense to you folks. Okay. So some of these programs, and I'm not saying all of them, okay? Some of these programs are taking the homeless out of homeless encampments and putting them in your houses. Just like that.
So Patty, on the second email from Zillow, this guy, Eric, whatever his name is, said, hi, I'm a housing case manager looking for units for my client. Is this unit available? Do you work with housing subsidies such as LACDA?
At inception, we only accept federally funded programs.
Got it. Got it.
The reason that I keep beating that into your guys' head is that your Section 8 and your VASH. You are required under federal law
To accept that.
those federal funds. If you don't, you're discriminating against
Are they the
source of
only two?
income.
Are they the only two programs?
They're the only two federally funded programs that this blonde is aware of.
Nice. So my third and last question is, have you heard of AB 246?
What's it in regards to?
Well, these fools again are trying to screw us over and stopping
Which
any
one?
rent
Is it
increases.
the
County of Los
refriger-
Angeles.
Oh, only County of LA?
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of the fires?
No, they don't say it's because of the fires. They say that it's that they're trying to like prevent us from raising rents.
They'll shoot
Something
it down.
came from I think it was BizFed, some gal named
Yeah.
Tracy, and so she sent the link, and you clicked on the link, and then it sent this email to all these representatives, and I did that.
Okay. Do me a favor, you guys, okay? Take an AGLA class once a month if you're an AGLA member, okay? They're free, right? You can even come me. I'm there once a month. I was there yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Okay. Take that class once a month and listen to what Dan's talking about. Dan's a great host. He used to be a radio host, whatever. He talks about what bills probably aren't going to affect us, what ones he's concerned about, where we need to be focused. He knows. When you guys get those emails from AGLA of, hey, please write to your congressman, and you can reply like Allie's talking about, it does a huge help to try to combat that. And I'm going to say this too, but I know it's not easy for 90% of us in this position. But if you have extra funds, donate it to the PAC, okay? Donate it to AGLA. I'm telling you, that money goes straight to Sacramento. It goes straight to those lobbyists, and they are fighting for us. Hang on, now I saw Chris said something. Is that the rent increase thing that the state legislator is trying to do? I believe so, Chris.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes. I didn't hear anything from AGLA, and I always watch out for AGLA.
I know, but just wait. Because Dan and I talked about this a little bit yesterday. I think he said today that they weren't that worried about that one, if I'm not mistaken. I think you're spot on. I'm 100% with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do have candidates pack. They do. And yes, this is different than accepting mom's check when somebody's in the hospital. When somebody's in the hospital, remember, they're already in there. You have to accept that. Just have them sign saying you're not creating a tenancy. At inception, federally funded programs only. And in my opinion, that is VASH and Section 8. There is not another program that I'm aware of.
Got it. Thank you for the clarification.
We don't have to have what? If it's mom's check, you're correct. You're correct. But if it's my son's check, then we need to write it. Is that correct, Chris? So what Chris is saying is, yeah, okay. So what Chris is saying, and everybody pay attention because he's going down deeper in the rabbit hole. If Patty's in the hospital and it's Patty's check coming to you, but her son's giving it to you, that's fine. That doesn't create a tenancy. That's what Chris is telling us. But if it's my son's check and he's paying my rent, then you need him to sign stating that this doesn't create a tenancy and he's only paying the rent on my behalf. Because come on, let's face it, nobody's going to let you evict me while I'm in the hospital because I can't pay my rent. It's not going to happen. and you want the money. Just not from a third party unless it's a federally funded program. And I got some stuff to tell you guys. Did I get a chance to check on? It's okay, Chris, no problem. Did I have a chance to check on Section 8 if the
You know, if one tenant is a Section 8, does that make the whole building under those same regulations?
you want my honest opinion?
Yeah? Mm-hmm. No? Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And here's me talking to you out loud, okay? There's no case law in regards to this. So I want you to kind of err on the side of caution, but if you really think about what they're saying and you go deep down in the rabbit hole, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's not fair, it's not equal. I know the communist judge. So here's what I'm going to tell you, and this is my opinion, okay? So, and this is the best opinion I could give and not get myself in trouble. You do whatever your attorney says you have to do. So if and I'm just giving an example. If Dennis Block is your attorney and he says yes, absolutely, then you listen to him. If Fast Evict is your attorney and they say no, we're not, then you listen to them. Okay? All I'm saying is you listen to whoever's going to represent you in court. Fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That is the best, even Steven, advice I could give you and keep myself out of trouble because I have an opinion to it, but I got to do what's best for you. So what's best for you is for you to ask the attorney that you're going to hire to represent you in court and ask them. And whatever they tell you to do, you do it. Because I got my own opinion. I don't think, and this is just me talking out loud, okay? This has nothing to do with the price of tea in China or in America for that matter, okay? What if I own a 25-unit apartment complex and I have one tenant in there on Section 8? Does that mean every one of my tenants gets a 30-day notice to pay rent or quit? That's not fair to me. That's not equal. That's not even in the same ballpark. All because I accepted one federally funded tenant? What is that going to do? Is that going to push all of us as landlords to not accept federally funded tenants? Ooh, did they go forward thinking far enough and figure that out? Of course not. Make sense? Okay, that's my opinion. But at the end of the day, before I say I'm going to do it or not do it, I'm going to call the attorney that I'm going to hire to represent me in court, and I'm going to ask them. And even though I don't like their answer, I'm going to do what they tell me to. And thank you, Chris, for keeping me in the right lanes. Okay, that is the best way I could protect you is listen to your own attorney. And if you don't have one, go find one. Seriously. AGLA has a trade show coming up next month, and I will be there. I will be in AGLA's booth. They're doing wine tasting, and I'm giving free opinions, advice, whatever you want to call it. I will be in AGLA's booth. Come sit down with me, chit chat with me, bring me lunch. It's usually a fun time. We have a good time. It's a lot of fun, but you need to be there because you're going to walk around and you're going to meet all kinds of vendors you didn't know were available to you. You're going to learn about retrofitting and all those requirements that you have to do this year. Pasadena, Val. There's one coming up in OC. I'll let you know when that is. It's at Orange County Fairgrounds. It's put on by the Apartment Association of Orange County, AAOC. I'll let you know when. But I'm not speaking at the Orange County one, but I will attend. I'll go walk around and talk with you. We'll go together. There could be a whole herd of us coming through. Sorry. I'm not sure I will let you know, but we are definitely doing something and he wants to do it before June. And there's a reason why he's postponed it. It has to do with that new bill that just was introduced. And I have the number wrong in my brain, so I don't want to say it. It's either 1157 or 67. And on my Agla slide, I had it wrong. So I look like a dork. I look like I didn't know what I was talking about. But I don't remember the number. It's either 57 or 67. If one of you know, that would be great. But it is stored in my memory incorrectly, unfortunately. What that is they're trying to change AB 1482, the statewide rent control, and change our max rent increase from 10% to 5%, which would be 2% plus its CPI, never to exceed 5%. And they're trying to include all single family residences. So that's the one that I'm most concerned with at the time. If they include all single family residents, my forward thinking paints a picture that I don't want to see. And Dan said, yeah,
1157.
thank you. I can't ever remember if it's 57 or 67, and I had it wrong yesterday. I look so bad. Okay. The thing that bothers me about that bill, just so everybody's on the same page, is because they're saying it would include all single family residences. What you really need to hear, I saw that, Chris. What you really need to hear is, I get it. What you really need to hear there is there's no exemptions. Wait a minute. They want to put rent control on all single family homes throughout the state, making us only do a max rent increase never to exceed 5%, meaning 2% plus the CPI. If the CPI is 1%, your maximum rent increase is how much? 3%. When the economy goes down and it tanks and the real estate market crashes, that's when the CPI goes down, okay? That's a consumer price index. Has to do on the rates consumers are spending money, okay? So when the real estate market crashes and the economy crashes, that's when the CPI tanks. So if the CPI goes down to 1%, that means the maximum increase at that point would be 3%. On a single family home? How do I fix the water heater? How do I pay the taxes? They're not thinking about the bills that they're throwing at us. They're just ludicrous. We all need those eviction attorney firm pens, Patti. Okay, so what Chris is talking about is when you guys walk around the trade show, okay? I'm gonna teach you a secret. Shh. Everybody listening? When you walk around the trade show, there's always one thing I pick up many of. And those of you that have walked around with me know I pick up pens. Why? Because I love a good heavy pen and I always write in blue ink, but I'm always picking up pens, okay? Why? Because we use them all the time. I have them in my car, I have them in my purse, I have them everywhere. We have a junk drawer in the kitchen. We're property managers. We always need a pen, right? Bring a rolling pin in an open suitcase. She knows. It's a trade show. If you've never been, they give away pins and clips and magnets and all kinds of little giveaways and tchotchkes. Bring a big bag. It's kind of like going trick-or-treating for adults, okay? Sometimes they have little bottles of alcohol. You never know what you're going to find, okay? Those trick-or-treatings, those are fun. I'm just saying. But when you go to the trade show, what you really want to focus on, you guys, is making sure that you have the vendors you need, and the candy. Okay, but here's what you really should be doing. Okay, pay attention. Go to all the eviction attorneys that are there and pick up their pens. They all have pens. You know, writing pens. So when you're signing the next rental contract with your tenant, make sure you're using a pen from an eviction attorney. When you say, here you go, you want to sign right here? Here. Did you? Yeah, I brought you a pen. I have my own pen. Everybody paying attention? When you're signing lease documents from an attorney with an attorney pen or an eviction pen, and they keep the pen afterwards, because they do that too, and I always laugh. Don't ever call it out on them. Don't ever call them out on it, okay? I have been doing this for decades. It works. They will even look at it and go, huh? Because it sends a message silently without you having to say a word. Now, how many of you will be picking up pens from various attorneys at the next trade show? I'm just curious. Makes sense though, right? You need the tenant to sign something. You want them to do it with a pen that has an attorney's name on it, an eviction company. Okay? It's a great tool. It's a tactic. It's a mental subliminal message that you're sending them.
They do look at it. They do pause and they look at it.
Sometimes they keep the pen.
That's the best part.
Yep. I never say a word. They can keep it. No problem. They look at it. They grab the pen and they always look at it. We all do. We don't think about it, but we do. We look at the pen. What does this say? Yeah. I should make some with funny sayings on them, you know, and never mind. Never mind. We always look at the pen. So they do. They look at the pen, just like Allie's telling you. They look at the pen and their eyes go boop. We're sending a subliminal message by giving them a pen from an eviction attorney to sign their lease documents, okay? There's nothing illegal, immoral, or unethical about that, but it's a great tactic. You're
Patti,
welcome.
you need a pen. You need a pen with a small little crystal ball on top.
Oh, that would be cute. We could have them printed, Widget's world. My ball's broken. Never mind. I don't want to say anything else because I have a tendency to say things that are on the fence or not socially acceptable sometimes. I used to carry this little crystal ball around with me. Some of you have seen it, and it's broken, and I keep it broken in two pieces. It's the stand and the little ball. All assembled, it's about this tall, okay? It's nothing fancy. I think it's a clear marble. Nothing fancy. But I always take it to, my crystal ball's broken. I don't know what's going to happen. I wish I did, but I don't. But yeah, I like that. I may get Widget's Way pins printed with crystal balls on the end. But the reality is, that's not going to scare your tenant. Maybe we should make some fake pins that say, kick them out quick, eviction service. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It may not scare them, but they'll ask a lot of questions.
Kick them out quick, eviction service. Hey, you know what? I might make some of those and sell them to you guys. But you'll cheat and just go to the trade show and get them anyway. I'm kidding. All right. Anybody have anything else?
Patti, I'm sorry. I know you. I know you've answered this hundreds of times. For the city of LA, rent control, Section 8. I increased the rent 4% and they told me it was too much. They denied it. What's the percentage of rent that I can increase? I don't think I've increased rent in 3-4 years.
Whoa. You have to find out from the Section 8 worker what the map amount is.
Okay.
In other words, Section 8 has a standard amount for how many bedrooms and how many bathrooms that tenant qualifies for. And that's all their voucher is good for. So they may tell you, yeah, you can't raise the rent, you can't raise the rent, you can't raise the rent. And then you've had an increase in insurance expenses and an increase in taxes. So you can warrant your increase. You'd like to speak to a supervisor.
Yes, I also remodeled the property because she was complaining. I changed.
Honey, I'm with you. I'm on your book, but you want to talk to a supervisor because if they
Yes,
won't
I will.
accept 4%, will they accept 3.5%?
Yes, I'll let them. I'll talk to them. Thank you very much.
But I'm just trying to give you the tools so you can go knocking and talking with them until you guys come up with something that works, or they may take the time to explain to you why it's not going to happen. And I will tell you this, we have a new member. I don't know if she's in here. Her name's April. She's great. She worked for Section 8 for decades. She is a specialist in how their process works, how their procedure works. And if you're having problems with a worker, she can tell you who to call, how to make that worker jump through hoops for you. Okay, her name's April. She's a member here on Widget's Way. She's a new member to AGLA. She's awesome. She knows. She knows. um, I like that one. Guido's squatter removal service. So you guys are getting funny ideas so you can make pins for your tenants. I'm not doing this. Also, off the record, I'd like to have another conversation with you guys about barking dogs. Okay. So for anybody that doesn't have barking dogs as a problem, you can get off here, have a great weekend, blah, blah, blah. It's not, anybody want to talk about barking dogs? Because I need to talk about this. Okay. Everybody listening? We all have dogs in the neighborhood that bark too much. It sucks. They're loud. It's obnoxious sometimes, especially in a multifamily community. I am unsure of the legalities of what I am telling you. But they make something called a non-audible dog whistle. You can buy it on Amazon. Okay? The one I have, I'm already hearing this isn't a good idea. But what if you blew a non-audible dog whistle in your house every time the neighborhood dogs were barking and you found the tone that made them stop barking? What if you trained someone else's dog not to bark? Not sure the legalities, you guys, but do you hear my neighbor's dogs barking? Me either. It's great, huh? I currently live in Ukaipa. No, I'm kidding. Don't come hunt me down. Everybody's brains are going a million miles an hour because what I said made sense. And zip, zip, zip. I'm being told that it may not be a good idea as we don't know the legalities. I got a question. If it's non-audible, how would they know I did it? Non-audible to human ears. Can it be picked up on video? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Be cautious, but it is something to think about, folks. Be cautious. I'm not trying to sign anybody up to do anything. Me? No. I admit to nothing. I'm being funny. Absolutely hypothetical. Absolutely hypothetical. I don't have annoying barking dogs in my neighborhood. I don't. Okay, so thank you everybody for listening, absorbing, and realize that we're just talking out loud. Hypothetically, of course. All right, if nobody needs anything else. Oh, wait, I saw something come through. I'm sorry. I saw you. Oh, wait. I just saw something from Maria. I can't tell you about that. Allie, shush. There we go. Sydney, I knew I saw something from you. Patti, my AGLA lease 2007 revised 11/2008.
It's a long paragraph to put in the chat, so I was going to send it to you, but for that 3-day cure or quit, do I need to cite the entire paragraph?
It is, I have to be careful what I say to you right now. Okay. It has been in my experience, and I have been trained when filling out a curable breach of covenant notice, also known as a cure or quit, that it requires 3 elements to the notice to be correct. One would be the exact paragraph of the lease, word for word, that they're in violation of. Number 2 would be what they did wrong with dates, times, and witnesses. And number 3 would be what they need to do to fix it. So
Okay.
to answer your question the best that I can, the answer is yes. But I needed to say it that way so everybody else knew what we were talking about.
Okay. Okay. So just include the entire verbiage of the paragraph.
Of that
along with the-
paragraph.
of that paragraph, along with the other 2.
So usually what I say and how I start that has been, as per your written rental contract dated blank, page blank, item number blank. Got it? And the reason I do it that way is because I was taught by an attorney that way. And the reason is because they can look at which lease you're talking about, go right to, it's like directions on exactly how to get there.
So you said, as per your written rental contract dated blank. And
Right,
what
because
else?
that gives them what lease you're talking about, okay? And then page and whatever the provision page,
dated.
and then what item it is, because you usually has a number next to it.
Yeah, item 7. Okay.
See? And then I quote that paragraph, because then any attorney, any judge, anybody can grab a hold of that and go, okay, she's talking about the lease that's dated this day. So find that lease. Here it is. She's talking about page 2, item 7, and they can go right to it. It's like a map telling them where to go.
Okay.
Okay. And I have always been trained to do it that way. I was trained by an attorney to do it that way. And it's just always stuck with me as that's the correct legal way to do it. So there may be another way to do it. I'm unaware of that way.
Okay. Thank
So
you. I'm writing it up. I'm
maybe
still gonna-
somebody says, yeah, you can cut this paragraph. You can only put the part till you need it. I don't know. I've always been instructed to include the entire paragraph word for word and give directions on where that paragraph is in the rental contract.
Okay. I'm working on it and I will send it over for your
Hey,
eyes.
look at it this way. Worst case scenario, I trained you to do it to make an attorney happy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's where
right? Isn't that what we want?
Yeah, I mean, that's where I would point them to anyway. So might as well just spell it all out. Okay.
Right.
Once I get it ready, I'll send it over to you.
Yeah,
just for your eyes.
take a picture, send it over. Sometimes you guys, I don't mean to, but I worked in an office where I was responsible for 3,500 doors. Okay. Every document that went out of our office came across my desk first. So every notice, every lease, everything, every letter, everything. I have photos of stacks and stacks of papers that we'd go through every month. We'd write a letter to every owner and I'd read it. I'd look through their statement. I'd make sure it matched. It's quality control. I'm really good at quality control. That was my job at the law firm because in seconds I can tell you what's wrong with the 3-day pay rent or quit. Maybe not the dollar amounts. I'm not going to be able to tell you if your numbers are off, but I am going to tell you if you're missing a phone number, or if you don't have something in the right space. I may ask you how much your rent is, and when you tell me, I may ask you, why is you asking for more than your rent? So I'm really good at finding technicalities on a notice in a very rapid fashion. So I make a great second set of eyes, a third set of eyes, whatever you want to call it. I've just been doing it so long, and it was my responsibility. It was my job. So I'm really good at doing that in a very rapid fashion. So feel free anytime you guys want to serve a notice. I don't care if you send it to me to look at. And if you get back a thumbs up or send it, that's me telling you everything looks good. Because if I had something you needed to change, I will tell you.
Yeah.
So if your response just comes back as send it on its way. But if you get back details or, hey, call me, then that's just me trying to help you. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
But I love looking at a second set of eyes because I'm really good at it and it doesn't take me but a couple seconds.
Perfect. Thank
you.
I'll
Anybody needs anything else, you guys feel free to give me a call. I am here to help you. Okay. All right, everybody have a great week. I will talk to you next week, and we are on time for next Wednesday.
The hair looks cute.
Thank you. I love it. She did a good job. I'm gonna turn around. So I'm gonna try to turn around. I don't know how. I can go
Thank
this
you,
way.
Patty.
Looks
I can
cute.
go this way. But I think she did a really good job. I really like
Yep.
it. It feels good. All right. Bye, everybody.
All right, thank you.
Bye.